Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about a couple of preamps I use for voiceover and vocal production. Now, full disclosure, you do not have to have these specific preamps in order for you to have a nice sounding rig or to be successful in voiceover or vocal production. And if you're in the market for a preamp, hopefully this video will help you make a decision on which one to get. Okay, let's get right to it. The main preamp I use as kind of the daily driver is the good old Apollo Twin, specifically the Apollo Twin X. I love this thing. I've been using it for many years. Actually, I have the first version of it, the Apollo Twin. It's just the Apollo Twin flat out, the Duo version. But this one is the Apollo Twin X. It's the newest iteration of the Apollo Twin line. This amp is such a beast. Probably one of the best preamps out there for voiceover, vocal production, instrumentation. It's a powerhouse. I think one of the great things about this preamp is it literally combines all the features some may love about the Apollo lineup and pack it into this small thing. And the power that it has is just incredible. One of the great things about this is, in terms of connection, is it uses Thunderbolt 3 to squeeze all of that UA goodness, universal audio goodness into this small compact machine, and it's pretty remarkable. I will say that the Apollo Twin is a little limited in terms of its connectivity with the inputs and such, but honestly, I mean, if you need more than this, then maybe you may want to look at something a little bit in terms of more inputs, a little bit longer. I know there's other versions of the Apollo that you can look at online, but for me, this is exactly what I need to do. It has your XLR cables with your hybrid kind of jacks there, and it works fine. It also has an instrument jack here in the front there, and also for your headphones right here. It has such a nice clean frequency, which is really invaluable when it comes to recording. But I think one of the most impressive tricks this thing can do is the fact that it can emulate different channel strips, processors, amps for guitar and bass. I mean, anything you can think of, this thing is able to make it happen. For me, I use the Manly Vox. I use the Avalon 737, which this thing can emulate, the LA2A, and many other amps, and this thing knows how to emulate it. It blows my mind because it sounds like the actual amp, and I'm like, bro, how are you doing this? So Universal Audio did an amazing job with this. This is why I feel like it's the one-stop shop. I mean, everything you need is encapsulated into this small machine, right? I mean, it's pretty small. I mean, look at the size of it. Now, they do come in two variants. One of them is the Duo, and then this one specifically is the Quad. Now, the differences between those two are just the amount of plugins and stuff you can use on them. So for the Quad, you can stack on quite a bit of plugins and processing on it, and you can have several tracks. If you want to do multi-tracking or just have a lot of instruments in your session and stuff, it wouldn't be a problem. Now, if you have the Duo, you may run into an issue where you have run out of DSP, and so they'll tell you that, hey, you got to take off some plugins, or you kind of have to replace them with something else and just kind of take the load off of the machine. But if you are a voice actor, for the most part, a Duo will be just fine. You won't need anything more than that. If you're an instrumentalist, if you play, if you sing, if you do quite a bit of other things and you multi-track, then you may want to look at the Quad. It may be the best bang for your buck there. Duo runs around, I believe, $800 to $900, and the Quad is definitely over $1,000. So keep that in mind when making that purchase. There are definitely more affordable options if you want a piece of the Universal Audio pie, but you don't want to have to pay almost $1,000 for it. There's one amp that I use specifically when I'm out on the road and traveling because it's so small, compact, and literally all I need is a Thunderbolt cable to get it connected, and that is Universal Audio Aero. I love taking this thing. I think one of the main reasons why I love it is a powerful traveling preamp. All I got to do is connect it with the Thunderbolt 3 cable, and it's on. I don't have to carry adapters like I do my Apollo Twin. It has a kind of the AC unit thing where I gotta carry that as well. But with this, I literally have to just plug it into my laptop and it turns on, and we're good to go. Kind of the same thing with the Apollo Twin, where you have your instrument jacks and your headphone jack. So it does the same thing. Obviously the fidelity of the sound may be a little bit different than what you're used to hearing to in comparison to the Apollo Twin, but they have different processing powers there. But I mean, if you're looking to get your feet wet in Universal Audio and use some of their products, I say go with the Apollo Aero. It is amazing. Well, I don't think it's called the Apollo Aero. I think it's just called the Universal Audio Aero. I think that's what it's called. With this thing, every time I travel, I take my Sennheiser 416 and I plug it in, and it's amazing because all I literally need is my laptop, Sennheiser 416, and this thing, and I'm good. I don't need anything else. So I love it. Just a heads up on these two consoles, you do need the Universal Audio console software in order to use them. That'll allow you to kind of go inside and tinker with some of the things. That'll allow you to go inside and tinker with some of the capabilities, such as, you know, obviously your channel strips and plugins, all that kind of stuff. Get it dialed up. So make sure you download that before you buy the product. Again, if you don't have the money to get these Universal Audio products, don't worry, there are even more affordable preamps out there, like the Scarlett 2i2. I think that runs for about $200 something, and that's actually one of the preamps that I started out on. I used that, and I remember back in the day I was using my Sterling 51 mic, and I would pair that together, and it sounded great. And then little by little you level up and you get new things and stuff. And so if you're still with the Scarlett, maybe bump it up to a Universal Audio Aero. And if you think like you're ready for something bigger, then go to the Apollo Twin. Twin is kind of the big leagues there. So really make sure that that's what you need for where you are in your journey. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comment below, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.